ARX was a pursuit of trying to find the most effective, most efficient, and safest form of exercise, namely resistance training, that was possible. In that pursuit, we discovered something bigger. We discovered that we have a powerful tool and a powerful technology to affect the world in a positive manner, to advance the human body, and to improve the health of everyone in the world. Many people pursue health through exercise. That's nothing new in the last 20 or 30 years. However, many people are going about it in the wrong way, definitely an ineffective way. So your routine might be to go running every day or to hit the treadmill, or your routine might be to go lift weights 3 times a week. There's nothing inherently wrong with any of those approaches other than possibly injuring yourself and not getting the results that you expect. Why is that, you might say? Well, they're not achieving an effective stimulus for the body to improve. Exercise should be a stimulus that improves the body. It's a negative stimulus. Too much of it can be a bad thing. And so we want to find the right dose to improve the body and have the right response from that exercise dose. One of the biggest complaints or inhibitors to using exercise as a way to improve your health is the time commitment. People will find any excuse not to exercise, and the time commitment is typically the first and primary reason people do not exercise. ARX has solved that problem. We are a minutes per week type of program, type of modality. You really do not have to allocate much time in your world to get immense benefits from using ARX.
The first thing to know about ARX is that it's motor-driven. The machine moves at a constant velocity that can be preset to perform any resistance training protocol. The motor allows us to provide what we call adaptive resistance. When you push, it pushes back at you with exactly the same level of force, giving you the perfect repetition on every repetition. Today, the most widely used tools for resistance training are weights. Weights use gravity as their form of resistance. This gravity-based resistance works, and has worked for hundreds of years, but the results you get from these tools also have some drawbacks. They are potentially dangerous, they have a steep learning curve, and they require a large time commitment to be effective. If you're looking for higher quality exercise, you need to find higher quality resistance. Our motor-driven adaptive resistance technology doesn't use gravity, but instead uses a computer-controlled motor to give you the exact amount of resistance you need 100% of the time. This means that the resistance can never become dangerous, is intuitive and simple to use, and can provide you with all the results you're looking for in a fraction of the time. Comparing weights and ARX is like comparing a horse to a car. Both can get you where you want to go, but the car has major advantages in safety, efficiency, and convenience. With ARX, you can get all the benefits of weights without any of their drawbacks. Another feature of ARX is that it's computer-controlled. This means optimal safety and quantification as you apply the efficient motor-driven resistance we just learned about. The speed of movement and range of motion are pre-programmed so that you can never hurt yourself by using an excessive range of motion, and you can never hurt yourself by moving too quickly. The computer also tracks and saves all of your performance data in the cloud. Far better than a notepad and pencil, and with zero effort on your part, making for a far more efficient workout. So you now know that ARX is motor-driven, adaptive resistance, and it's computer-controlled. At this point, you may be thinking, so what? Well, there are many benefits to using ARX technology, but here's an overview of the most important ones. The first big advantage is basic effectiveness. We've isolated the most important elements of resistance training: mechanical tension, muscle damage, and metabolic stress. When your muscles are perfectly loaded 100% of the time, the magnitude of the stimulus to your body is maximized. This means that with ARX you can surpass the strength, bone density, muscular development, and cardiovascular conditioning that you get using traditional tools like weights, and you can do it in less time. So we know how effective ARX can be. Now let's talk about another big advantage: efficiency. When we perform resistance training, science has proven that we can control the descent of a far heavier weight than we are capable of lifting. With this in mind, the goal then should be to use heavier weights over time. But how do we use the heavy weights we're capable of lowering if we can't even lift them in the first place? With weights, it's not possible. We end up compromising and doing less than we're capable of. Take a look at this graph of a set of chest press on an ARX machine. Those big peaks in force were produced in the negative or eccentric phase, the type you'd experience as you lowered a weight. This lesser amount in the different color was produced during the positive or concentric phase, the type you'd experience as you lifted a weight. Now the difference between the two is the meat you're leaving on the bone in the gym. Look at this max peak. That's the force you're capable of producing. So if I gave you that amount of weight in the gym, you could lower it once, but then you'd be unable to lift it. Remember, your lifting strength is way down here. So in the gym, what do? You compromise. You lower the weight on the bar just so you can lift it in the first place, which then means you're underloaded on the way down. If you lift 100 pounds, you have to lower 100 pounds, even if you could have lowered much, much more. It takes a lot longer to accomplish what you want to in the gym when you're constantly underloaded like that. When the resistance is matched, though, and you can go as hard as you like, you can fatigue the target muscles far more quickly. You can achieve any level of resistance instantly and automatically, without a spotter and without stacking plates, all in a reduced amount of time compared to weights. Another huge advantage to matched adaptive resistance is safety. While they are effective, weights are also inherently dangerous. Even Olympians suffer injuries while training with weights, and if they can make mistakes, I think we can all agree that we're liable to make those same mistakes too. As soon as you lift a weight, you've made a commitment to lower that weight, and it's acting on you 100% of the time through gravity. It's trying to get to the center of the earth, and you're in the way. ARX can never act on you, only in response to you. Also, there's nothing that can fall on you when you're using ARX, and there's a far easier exit strategy if you feel uncomfortable at any time. When you stop pushing, the machine stops pushing, and the resistance instantly drops to zero. And finally, you can now achieve deep levels of fatigue in complete safety. With weights, it's often when you're fatigued that form can slip and injury can occur. Remember, the weight doesn't adjust to how tired you are. But that's not the case with ARX. You're always in control, and our adaptive resistance can never become dangerous, no matter how tired you get. And the final advantage of ARX over other tools is quantification. Sets and reps are useful, but imagine what you can do now that you know maximum force output, rate of work, total amount of work done, and other metrics while being able to compete with a previous performance of yours in real time. Your entire ARX history is saved in your personal profile and is available at any time for visual and numerical comparison. ARX offers two machines, the Alpha and the Omni. First, here's what they have in common. Both machines allow you to exercise the entire body. Both machines allow the user to perform compound exercises that stimulate all muscle groups. And both machines utilize the same motorized resistance, the same drive system, and the same software integration. While they're mostly similar in what they can provide, there are a few key differences. We like to explain it like having a manual transmission versus an automatic transmission in your car. If you're looking for more versatility and control in your driving experience, you're going to want a manual transmission. But if you're looking for efficiency and an easy learning curve, you're going to choose an automatic transmission. So the Alpha and the Omni are kind of like that. They have an identical drive system and both provide all the benefits of matched resistance I talked about before. The Alpha is, as the name suggests, the primary machine. It's what most people will prefer. It's a full body workout in 3 big moves: leg press, chest press, and row. Any benefit of resistance training that has been identified in the research can be achieved with the Alpha, but done so in a way that doesn't require a large learning curve or high level of skill. You just sit down and go. For those looking for more versatility and control, the Omni was designed with these specific factors in mind. The Omni has all the bells and whistles. It covers all major compound movements: pull down, row, chest press, belt squat, deadlift. All major simple movements: biceps curls, triceps press downs, shrugs, pullovers, high pull. All at multiple angles, any desired path of motion, and you have the ability to use any commercially available attachment you prefer. Any gripping attachment that could be clipped onto a cable pulley machine at the gym can be used on the Omni. So the Omni gives you maximum versatility and control, shrinks an entire personal training studio down into one machine, and is far easier to learn to use than weights of any kind. The Alpha is even more user-friendly than the Omni while maximizing time efficiency and simplicity. So now you know how ARX works, why it represents a giant leap forward in the health and wellness and fitness fields, and what our two units are. Now you're probably just wondering what it looks like for someone to actually use ARX. Check this out. So the client sits down, builds the workout, taps the start button, and automatically all of his positions, travel time, and pause time in between repetitions is filled in as a default from the previous workout. He presses start, the machine moves into the start position, and he's off and running with the exact same thing he did last time, so you can have apples to apples comparisons. So the line he's drawing now, you can see compared with the gray line. The gray line was his previous performance, and now the black and red is his current performance. On the way out, that's the concentric, that's his lifting strength, and he's going at maximum. It's a 1 rep max in the gym, and now he's resisting with everything he has. And you'll notice that these red peaks are much taller than the black peaks, and that's because we're way stronger resisting force than we are producing force. Down at the bottom of the graph, you see the blue box with the white numbers. That's his momentary force output. So that's the weight on the bar, in other words. And you can see it's changing. It's like a magical barbell that automatically changes to match exactly what you're giving it. As the 4th repetition comes to a close, it automatically stops and retracts back to the home position. And it's time for the chest press. So the user will adjust the seat. He's going to adjust the handles. And that's all it takes. It took less than 5 seconds to go from leg press to chest press. There's no stacking plates. You don't need a spotter. You don't even need a second person there. Just like the leg press, all of his positions down to the 100th of an inch, the travel time in each direction, and the pause times are all saved. Having these settings saved in the software allows for unprecedented levels of consistency and safety in your workouts. It gives him a countdown and away he goes. At the bottom of the screen, you see repetition 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4, etc. So that's counting the repetitions. You also see the black bar with the green dot that shows you visually where you are in the range of motion. And then as the range of motion proceeds, your positioning data is directly below that. So here are the performance metrics that ARX tracks for you. First is max. That's the single greatest force he was able to produce during the set. Output is a running total of how much cumulative work was done during the set, and intensity is the output divided by time, which gives you a snapshot of the effort you gave during your set. Combined with the precision and consistency now possible with ARX, you can confidently track your progress and make meaningful comparisons over time. So he's done with that. It retracts back to the home position, and he moves on to the 3rd and final movement of this full body workout. So it's been just 3 minutes since he started, and he's already completed 2 of the 3 exercises in his routine. Because there are no weights to stack or settings to adjust, he's free to efficiently progress through his workout without interruption. For the purposes of this demonstration, each set contains 4 reps. It's important to remember, though, that any protocol is possible with ARX, no matter how many reps you'd like to do or how much time you'd like to go for. In the row here, he pulls in the concentric, and he's pulling as fast as he can, and now as it moves away from him, he resists as hard as he can. He's attempting to stop the machine, and he's failing, as everybody does, but his attempt to do the impossible elicits the response we want from his body. Which is another reason that the response someone gets from ARX is greater than with traditional tools, because you're never attempting to do the impossible. It's a lower demand on the body because it's always within your capabilities. And so he finishes up his final repetition. He presses finish workout, and he gets to the workout summary screen. Here he can see a snapshot of today's performance and gauge his progress quickly in one screen. And there you have it, an ARX workout.
The health of the world would be improved if ARX was integrated across the world. It would help you as an athlete get better at your sport. It would help you as a grandmother keep up with your grandchildren. It would help you as a young male in the dating world be a better specimen for your mate. So no matter where you are, ARX will help you in your pursuit. As we see ARX in the world and get adopted more and more often, we're amazed at not only what the practitioners are doing with ARX in their businesses or in their practices, but the amazing results and the stories that we hear about what benefits and what health impacts have occurred because of the use of ARX. We are hopeful that ARX will be around the world very soon. We're already opening up distribution channels in other countries outside of the US, and we can see that this is going to take off, and we hope that more and more like-minded practitioners and people interested in improving others' health will join us in this movement of getting ARX out to the world.